This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming your way. And we welcome you to one of the most popular golf courses on the PGA Tour. It is Quail Hollow. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Frank, it is just starting to heat up out on the golf course. Fans are streaming in, anticipating a highly contested event with the best golfers in the world.
One reason the fans love this course so much, Rich, the green mile. It's fine to have a good golf course, but it's got to have a great finish. It's got a great finish, then it becomes a great golf course. Quail Hollow has that great finish of 16, 17, and 18.
How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. Going to need a little bit of luck.
Oh, it looked like you caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he was thinking on that.
Solid play, heart of the green. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Well, not in contention, but in for par. Back down now to hole number 6. This has not been pretty so far in the second round. Frank, what are you seeing?
Ball's just going everywhere, out of control, really. A lot of poor decisions. So right now, we better see a turnaround.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Well, he didn't knock down the flagstick right there, but 25 feet, that's not too bad. Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. So a tester from 4 feet. He'll take par and move on. Well, Frank, an eagle is in play here at the par 5 7th.
And a 6, and a 7, and an 8, or a 9, actually. This is a potential scorecard wreck of the 7th hole. Many a tee shot has found that creek on the right, trees, problems on the left. There's no question there's a reward for a good tee shot here. But then there's a decision on, do you go for this par 5 and 2? It's not overly long, just over 530 yards. It is very tempting.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Well, couldn't have done much better than that, and the eagle is looking very likely now. This would give him an eagle on the card. Has it now sitting at 2 under par for the tournament. Frank, in modern professional golf, we're seeing more and more drivable par 4s, like the 8th here at Quail Hollow, 350 yards. What do you think of this hole?
It's not a bad hole. Drivable, some might say, but the angle of the green means it's hard for that tee shot to keep on the green. But I think the reward for hitting a driver is try and sort of aim at that tree just left of the green. And the reason why is then you've got to pitch up the direction of the green. This is a really narrow green.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Frank, this is a really good way to finish out the front side here at Quail Hollow. 495-yard par 4.
Yeah, it's the longest par 4 at Quail Hollow. Some say it might be the toughest. I'm not quite in that camp. And the reason why, that green slopes in from both sides, the left and the right. But You can see why good drivers have done well here, because there's a big reward for thumping a big, long, straight drive down here. The great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. That concludes the second round here at this amazing golf course. And Frank, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
I certainly am as well. The players have gotten off to a very good start, and they must have a good feel for the course right now and know what they have to do in order to win.
EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Navalo set to call all the action here at the Wells Fargo Championship. We are at Quail Hollow, and Frank, it is really one of the best courses on tour.
It is a great state of North Carolina where Donald Ross developed so many great courses. They're the sort of courses that we're used to seeing, but this is a relatively new golf course. First opened up in 1961, but it certainly fits in with the North Carolina landscape. Mature trees, holes well cut out, beautiful greens, and interesting finish.
How do you like that finishing stretch? They call it the Green Mile.
Some might think it's purgatory, but I think it's the perfect touch to a great golf course. Nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290. Second shot.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up.
Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
On the green, and a chance for birdie.
Even par, currently.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle. When you consider the length of that putt, that's a good putt, really. This is an awkward length.
Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Frank, nothing really went the player's way this week.
Yeah, if this was motor racing, you'd say it's a case of having 4 flat tires.
Now set to tee off at the 6th. It is a long par 3, 250 yards.
We could take a little bit off for the downhill, but whichever way you look at it, it's still going to be a beefy par 3. Protected on the left by that front bunker, and if you sort of scoot one long, there's another bunker over there as well.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. From about 8 feet. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. Frank, there's a lot to chew on here as you get to the tee at the 532-yard par 5/7.
In today's game, 530 plus change you think is incredibly short. And look at the trouble in front of you. Water all the way down the right side and around that right side of the green. Bunkers left. This is not for the faint of heart.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. Nice position, short grass, second shot. Sit down, get down.
Oh, this is gone.
Just averted danger right there, so close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
That looked like it nearly got below the lip, the level of the lip there.
Can't believe that one, Frank. That was a complete horseshoe right there. Frank, I'm sure it feels good to get some red numbers on the card, but this tournament is probably too far out of reach at this point.
No question.
Out of the short par 4/8 here at Quail Hollow, just 350 yards. Frank, players can lay it up and just hit a little baby wedge into the green, but why not go for it in one, try to make something happen?
I think both plans work well, Rich. This is one of those holes, the more you think about it, the more complicated it gets. You're going to lay it up. You're going to go for it, just aim at that tree and hit it down there. Just take your medicine.
Just in the first cut of rough, not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here. How about that shot? From that lie to get it that close, tremendous effort. Well, he's going for back-to-back birdies here, trying to jumpstart this round.
Some momentum moving in the right direction.
Suddenly a ray of sunshine with that birdie.
And there is hope. Now on the top 25.
Here we are at the 9th hole at Quail Hollow, 495-yard par 4. Frank, it is the longest par 4 on the golf course. Is it, in your estimation, the toughest?
I think the green stops it from being the toughest, Rich, because it does kick in from either side. But when you see holes like this, there's no surprise why the Rory McIlroys and the Ricky Fellas have won around here. This is just a great driving par 4.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
It should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday and a chance for another one today. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. For par. Good effort and good par putt. 3 rounds in the books. Outside the top 10 going to the final 18. Frank, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think you're going to have to approach the final round in a couple of different phases. Try and be aggressive early on. If you do get a few birdies in the bank, you really still can fancy yourself with a chance to win. It'll all depend on that start tomorrow.
Presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Thanks for joining us here today in Charlotte, North Carolina for the final round of the Wells Fargo Championship. Frank, what do we have out here today?
Well, if history has a chance of repeating itself, remember those great closing rounds by Rory McIlroy? That 62, that was one of the best rounds ever shot that year, back in 2010. And of course that playoff too, Ricky Fowler back in 2012. We actually beat out then world number one Rory McIlroy with that stunning drive down the finishing hole and brilliant wedge to a tight flag. This golf course, it can give it, it can take it away, but for us, from where we're sitting, Rich, we'll enjoy the view today.
No doubt about it. So the shot has landed, I'm not sure if it's on the mulch or in the mulch. Either way, it's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, he doesn't have mulch of a shot, you left.
So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball. Should be able to get at it, but may not be able to control the spin. We'll see. Frank in a bit of trouble here at the par 5, missing the green on that third shot.
You're just battling to make par. And this is going to be difficult.
Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it. Send it. Well, just a little too much, Rich.
I don't know if it was wind at his back. He didn't calculate it, but he's going to be left with a difficult chip shot here.
It's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Calling the medics, Frank. Can't stop the bleeding here.
Just racking the bogeys up.
Now to the par 4 11. Frank, what do you think of this hole?
It's an interesting hole, Rich, and I'm curious to see how aggressive players will play here today. The easy way, obviously, is just hit it down the right side and set up a nice second shot with a short iron. Or the most fun way is to take the big stick out and try and bite off as much of that putter as you choose. But be prepared to pay the price, should it not come off.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie.
It's no snack, though.
And with that birdie, into the top 25 on the leaderboard. Par 4-12 here at Quail Hollow, 456 yards. Frank, break it down for us.
Well, there's no fairway bunkers either side, so you feel like there's nothing to work the ball off, and consequently, it's very easy to sneak it in the rough on the left or the right, and then that makes that second shot so much more difficult going up the hill. This is one hole that you have to pick a line on. You really have to know your line off the tee. There's a nice big tree down there in the distance. That's the one you want to work it off.
Those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shot.
Well, not in contention, but in for par. Here we are at the par 3, 13th hole. It's 210 yards. What does it take here, Frank?
It's one actually where you'd rather be conservative than aggressive here. And the reason why is this green tends to roll off at the back and the front and the middle there. So it's just something that pitches more in the central part of the green is really what's required.
Birdie try up next. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Now putt for par.
Shouldn't be a problem here. He got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
So just a formality here. Well, too bad. He gives one back. Well, now we come to the really interesting 345-yard par 4 14th. Frank, I'm thinking that if you're leading, you're probably not going to try to drive this and take on the risk with the water on the left. But if you're behind, you have a chance to make up some ground.
Yeah, I have it written in my yardage book, Rich, on this hole. Only good and bad things happen with the driver. Nothing in between. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Just a couple of feet. Methodically starting to climb the leaderboard now. 4 under par for the tournament with yet another birdie. Now at the par 5, 15th hole, 577 yards. Frank, you remember what Rory McIlroy did here in 2010, that final round, 62?
I certainly do, Rich. That was an amazing run on the second 9. And holes like this, too, he just stood up here with a driver and just obliterated it down there with a nice draw, took those bunkers out of play and just set up a mid-on.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Frank, that looked good to me. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole. Really solid stroke.
This is the start of what some say is the toughest finishing stretch on the PGA Tour. It's known as the Green Mile. Frank, what makes it so challenging?
Well, this hole in particular, Rich, the dogleg right, it means it plays every inch of it's just over 500 yards. That bunker you can see down the right, 325 yards to carry that. If you can fly the ball that far, at least you can chew off 2/3 of this hole, and that is well required here. Otherwise, it's a long, long second shot.
Sit down. Get down.
Oh, this is gone.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. That birdie will help, Frank.
Certainly moving into the top half, that's for sure. And starting to narrow that number down in front.
Just 2 holes remaining here at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is the signature par 3, 221 yards, the 17th.
And they have a multitude of tees here. One of the new back tees is actually where the old 16th green was. And if you think don't go left is the way to play, then that won't work either, because right's not that much good. This is it. Stand on the tee, and you better hit a good shot. Rich, that was some shot out of the rough.
Team. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Blemish on the scorecard. A bogey. Now to the finishing hole here at Quail Hollow. Frank, what can we expect?
If there was a name for this hole, Rich, it should be called Narrows. The creek that meanders its way down the left side and actually divides that hole into really half the size of what a normal par 4 should be. That makes it hard. The bunker on the right is your bail area. Just over 290 yards to get past that. And then the narrowest green that still sits up against the lake. This is just a brutal finish.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here.
Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Solid play, heart of the green. And getting ready for the putt. And drops it in. Frank, it was a great setting with great crowds. We saw plenty of very good golf. Your thoughts?
Well, I think the course really extracted some of the golf that we saw. It forced these players to play just some great golf. And it wasn't just like a pitch and a putt golf course. So I think seeing the guys tested, seeing the players tested at this level, it was a treat.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Players.
Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that. This looks like it's going to find the target.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Well, this is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens. So frustrating sometimes on the greens, isn't it? Drop shot here at the 6th. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. So with that, 1 over par. Let's take you down to the 7th hole. Certainly a lot of golf left to play in this championship, but what does our featured golfer need to do to turn it around?
It's back to the basics, Rich. Find fairways, find greens, give yourself opportunities. There's plenty of birdies out there, but you've got to give yourself chances.
A beautiful drive.
Yeah, it's certainly taken the pressure off the rest of the hole.
One player told me, Frank, that it's like a root canal appointment. You're thinking about 17 all day long.
I think a root canal at times would be more enjoyable than playing 17 on a windy day.
Well, he gave us a demonstration today why he's one of the best in the sport. Every green hit in regulation. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
He has this attempt for par. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Frank, this is a hole that I really like. The 8th, 237-yard par 3, just a necklace of bunkers surrounding the green. What's the best approach?
You come out through that chute or that hallway of trees there, and this being the longest of the 4 par 3s of TPC Sawgrass, the green actually plays much smaller than what it looks because of that narrow entry.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Chance, and he has it. Beautiful putt. Frank, I think this is one of the most fascinating holes on the golf course. The 583-yard par 5 9th hole.
With technology now, a lot more players can reach this par 5 and 2. Gone are the days where it was a true 3-shotter, but I remember when Sergio Garcia hit that 3-wood from, what was it, 270, 280 yards? Still one of the best shots I've ever seen.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
Frank, this is all about plotting your way around. Now the 3rd shot at the 9th.
Yeah, there's a reward for a precise short iron shot in here. If the pin's on the right or the left, precision pays off.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor. Now, as they say, 300-yard drive, 1 shot, miss a short one, also 1 shot.
That's painful. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Now on to one of the most exciting back nines in golf here at the TPC Sawgrass and the Stadium course. Let's begin at number 10. Frank, and what do you make of this hole?
It's another one where you're just trying to fit the tee shot in the fairway there. It's not a driver, just something that stays right. And of course, we've seen a lot of people stray here down the left side. Who can forget Mickelson when he won his Players' Championship, hitting that phenomenal 7-iron out of the fairway bunker, through the trees, and still finding the putting surface. But speaking of the putting surface, this green has more undulations than just about any green on the golf course.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Pretty good shot right there. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Did the job right there. And that does it for us here at TPC Sawgrass. Great day, Frank.
Yeah, a chance for the players to play one of the golf courses that has become so famous over the last 25 to 30 years.
For my partner, Frank Nobilo, and our entire team, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long from the TPC Sawgrass and EA Sports.